Sloth Uni, what it do? We have officially gotten a schedule for our posts. It's gonna be every Tuesday and every Friday. Every Tuesday, we're gonna be doing videos like this where we're gonna have our tinfoil takes. It's gonna be Tinfoil Tuesday, tinfoil hat takes. We don't got the tinfoil hat yet, but I'm working on crafting one. I might just craft a little tinfoil hat just for the Tuesdays. You know, I always got the hat on. Like craft a little tinfoil hat for it. But tinfoil hat take Tuesdays, tinfoil Tuesdays, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be where I take all my radicalized picks or just my crazy picks that I'm like, you know what? I think this gonna happen, and I feel it in my spirit. I feel it in my loins. I got a good feeling about this. Just my takes that I don't see the general public talking about, and I really think it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna have my moneyline game picks of the week, and I'm not gonna be choosing like the easy peasy games of the week. Now we got them soldiers out there that we gonna be taking, and you gonna see what we gonna have Friday. Friday is a special one. I've been wanting to do the types of videos that we're gonna be posting on Fridays for a while, but I tried to do it. Honestly, I did it one time and the videos didn't really come out how I liked it, so I kind of scrapped it. Also, I don't want to give all of y'all the sauce that I'll be having. That's a little hint to what's gonna be coming, but y'all know we always be rambling. Let's get into these takes, cause you probably like tinfoil hat. What you gonna be talking about, bro? What you gonna be like? What? Like, are you saying some crazy? Usually people talk about tinfoil hats, and they talking about some crazy stuff. Like, I was gonna say like aliens, but honestly, if you don't believe in aliens, I can't say aliens are true. We gotta talk about football. We here to talk about football. First tinfoil take of the first Tinfoil Tuesday is JJ McCarthy is going to take the Vikings to the playoffs. I've seen enough, and I've heard enough of people saying that JJ McCarthy is overrated. JJ McCarthy is not a good quarterback. JJ McCarthy's this, JJ McCarthy's that. Soft benching with it. Listen, all of it got put to bed. The one thing that I need to see now is the one thing that he wasn't able to do from week 1 to week 2 is to be able to stack good weeks together. That's all I need to see. And he's certified in my book. I already liked him as a prospect, and I liked him as a scheme fit in this offense. And say what you want about his week 1 and week 2. Week 1, I'm not gonna lie, people were tripping. Like, people were acting like that was some of the worst QB play they had ever seen in their life. And he looked good week 1. People were saying his first 3 quarters were horrible. We talked about this, but if anything, he just looked like a rookie who didn't want to press too much and was just being very selective with what he did with the ball. Now he looks a lot more comfortable. He's a lot more like, look, we got to lock in. At the end of the day, yes, it is the NFL, but we're still playing football. He's been doing this his whole life. He's very good at it, and it looks like he's really gotten a lot more comfortable in this scheme, in this system, in playing in the NFL and taking control of this team in general. And I'm very excited to what this Vikings team is going to look like in the next coming weeks, in the future, in the next coming years, because he looks like the first round quarterback that they wanted to take and that they were hoping he could be, and that they let Sam Darnold go for. But I was very critical of the Vikings of letting Sam Darnold go, because Sam Darnold is somebody who had a lot of success in this scheme and team that they have. He literally took you to the top of the NFC, took you to the playoffs. Yes, it didn't really end the way you wanted it to, but I feel like if they would have had kept Sam Darnold, they could have just let Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy kind of battle it out. Whoever, if JJ McCarthy ended up winning, okay, great. You have a quarterback who will start week 1 for you, who you think will be very good, and he is very young, and if he did end up struggling, then you also had a quarterback who you knew you could rely on in the system. Not saying Carson Wentz did horrible. He did okay. But I feel like if they had Sam Darnold, they would have won a lot more of the games that they won with Carson Wentz. But their defense, this Brian Flores-led defense, is really starting to come alive. And what a lot of people take for granted, I feel like, or kind of overlook, is how much better a defense plays or is able to play when the offense is on schedule and the offense is playing a lot better. Because the Vikings defense has looked its best when JJ McCarthy is the quarterback. And it's no coincidence. So they have tons of weapons. They got Justin Jefferson. I was going to call him JJ. But Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason. They got playmakers all over the defense. Like this team is a playoff caliber team. They were literally just, what were they, like 14-3 or 14-2, something outrageous last year. And they have the talent to bare minimum make the playoffs. And if JJ McCarthy continues to play at the level he is, I don't see a reason why they don't make the playoffs. If anything, honestly, this another. I wasn't gonna say this one because it's kind of wild, but I feel like every team in that division could really make the playoffs. Has this ever happened before? Hey Siri, has every single team in an NFL division ever made the playoffs before? She's using ChatGPT. Hold on. No NFL division has ever had all its teams qualify for the playoffs in a single season. So that would be crazy. But if anything, I feel like this is the year it could happen. There's only 2 teams in this division who I feel like could really like mess this division up. This isn't one of my solid tinfoil takes. This is the NFC is a bloodbath right now. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But between the Bears and the Packers, I feel like out of all the 4 teams in that division, between the Lions, Bears, Packers, Vikings, I think the Bears and the Packers would be the 2 teams who would miss the playoffs in this scenario. But yeah, I think JJ McCarthy is going to take the Vikings to the playoffs. I think they're going to hit their stride in the next coming weeks, and they're really going to start turning it up. But this might be the biggest tinfoil take of the week, because we got our Super Bowl predictions. Before we get into these Super Bowl predictions, this was really hard to actually like try to hunker down and make these picks with, because the NFL is so competitive this year. Like you think about the AFC, nobody in the AFC or any conference for that matter has really kind of solidified themselves as the top team in either the league or the top team in the AFC or the top team in the NFC. The AFC is 100% completely wide open. Like between the Colts, the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Bills, the Patriots. I want to say the Steelers, but I feel like they're not serious people. I feel like they're not serious people. But out of all the teams that I just listed, all of those teams could literally win the AFC and go to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Like, depending on who they face in the playoffs, I don't think that any of these teams are really like head and shoulders above any other team. The only team that maybe I could say that is maybe the Chiefs, just because they have Patrick Mahomes. But the Chiefs are beatable, and we've seen that a few times this year. Like, I would love to say that the Chiefs are easily the best team in NFL, which I still believed for a while, and I still kind of believe it. But with what I've been seeing in Buffalo, like there's something that's missing with this team, and I feel like it's their inability to be able to run the football. which also pairs with their what's the word? Their let's just say them not wanting to run the football. Like they haven't really been able to run the football, but they haven't really made an effort to really establish the run as well, which you kind of have to do if you want to be able to run the football. But out of all the teams in the AFC right now, I'm thinking of the hardest team to beat in the AFC. And it is the Chiefs, but every single time I think the Chiefs, in my opinion, are the hardest to beat team in the AFC when it comes playoffs, because the Bills usually kind of handle the Chiefs in the regular season, and when it comes to the playoffs, they kind of get exposed. So I think the Chiefs are the hardest team to beat in the AFC. But there's one team in the AFC who I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to beat when it comes to the playoff season. And it's the Denver Broncos, who I have as my AFC pick going to the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos they're such a complete team. They have arguably the best defense in the league. Their D-line gets so much pressure, and they get pressures in so many ways. They can beat you one-on-one. They can beat you up. They can beat you inside. They can beat you off of stunts. Their defensive line they can get pressure from anywhere, inside, outside. They're so ferocious. And that's what you need if you want to really make a playoff run. There's two things, really three things that you really need. The third thing is kind of like it's optional until the Super Bowl. But two things that you really need in the playoffs: a really good pass rush and a really good run game. And I was looking around the AFC, and there's really only like three teams that fit this criteria in the AFC. Between the Colts, or four teams, but one of them's not serious. Between the Colts, the Broncos, the Bills, and the Steelers. The Steelers are not serious, people. The Bills, I feel like it will really all depend on who the Bills play on the playoffs on their Super Bowl run. And I'm not ready to crown them just yet, because it really depends. Because if they face the Chiefs, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm not gonna lie to you. But there aren't many teams in the AFC who I truly think can beat the Bills in the playoffs. But the Bills were very close to being my second pick outside of the Chiefs. It'll really depend what the playoff picture looks like and what the matchups looks like, which is crazy. But I don't really think the Colts pass rush will be enough in the playoffs. I think they can win a playoff game, but I think the quarterback differential will really play a factor in the playoffs. The third thing is offensive line protection, which the Broncos also have. The Broncos check all the boxes. And when you look at all their offensive weapons, they got Cortland Sutton, they got Troy Franklin, they've got RJ Harvey, they got J.K. Dobbins, they got what's the rookie? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on his name, but the rookie wide receiver that they drafted. They've got so many weapons, and Bo Nix he's still not to the level that he was last year, but he's making all the plays that he needs to. And their defense is really keeping them in. Their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games. They're going to give them a lot of opportunities to be able to make the plays that they need to on offense. So I don't think that there's going to be an offense that will be able to really to be able to do the things that they need to do against the Broncos defense. If anything, maybe the Bills. I think the Bills. It's funny. This is like a little triangle. I think that the Broncos are the hardest matchup for the Chiefs. This is literally my AFC triangle. Broncos are the hardest matchup for the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the hardest matchup for the Bills. And I think out of all the teams in the AFC, the Bills are probably the best suited to beat the Broncos. That's my little AFC triangle right there. But out of all those, I'm taking the Broncos. You gotta pick one. This is not a little like maybe all they're all three. No, we gotta pick one. No, we're not doing that shit. So, Broncos are my AFC team. To the NFC. The NFC was way harder because like I said, there's a little triangle that I got going on for the AFC. NFC is the gulag because oh my goodness, there's so many options. There's so many good teams. You've got the 49ers, who when they get healthy, they are going to be a force. When they get Ricky Pearsall back, they're 6-3 or 6-3, 6-2, whatever, and they haven't had their two starting wide receivers. They just got their starting tight end back. They haven't even had their starting quarterback, and almost all of their defensive starters have been injured. And I mean, they're continuously being injured, but Robert Saleh is like squeezing everything he can get out of this defense. He's like wringing the little towel. He's like, let me get every ounce of production I can get out of every single one of you guys. You got the Seahawks, who Sam Darnold is playing the best football of his life. Their defense is phenomenal. Their run game is one of the best in the league when they actually want to be. You've got the Eagles, who are still a force. You've got everybody in the freaking the NFC North. Between the Lions, you got the Bears. The Packers are not serious people. you got the Vikings. Like there's so many options to choose. You got the Rams. I feel like you got the Buccaneers. Like there's so many options in the NFC that I'm like, how do you even just choose one? You can make a case for so many of these teams to make the Super Bowl, which goes into another point that I've brought up so many times, and it's gonna start catching on, I promise you. The NFC at this point in time is so much better than the AFC. Like, if you look at the team constructs, take the quarterbacks out of it. I know the AFC has the flashy names with the quarterbacks in Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Yes, I know. If you look team for team, the way these teams are constructed top to bottom, NFC has it by far. The NFC is so freaking talented. Think of all the all the bottom feeders of the league. You think of the worst teams in the league, they're all in the AFC. But if you think of all the best teams in this league right now this year, create your top 10. I can guarantee you more than half of them will be in the NFC. And if they're not, you aren't ranking them correctly. I'm sorry. You don't know ball, bro. But after having said all of that, if you look at my criteria, which honestly, the pass rush, ability to run the ball, and all that stuff, so many teams in the NFC fit this bill. But there's one team that I look at them and I watch them play every single Sunday, and I just think this team is going to be so hard to beat in the playoffs. And it's the Los Angeles Rams. They've got a Hall of Fame quarterback, soon to be Hall of Fame quarterback, in Matthew Stafford, who's already won the big one once before. You've got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, who is arguably I was going to say arguably the best, but then T. Higgins and Jamar Chase just flashed in my mind of the best wide receiver tandem in the league. I was like, oh yeah, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, arguably the JJ. I was Jamar Chase. Oh. T. Higgins, good. I was the catches that they were just making and just flashing through my brain. Oh my gosh, they were like, don't ever say that blasphemy in our space again. But they've got an incredible tandem in those two. They've got an incredible running back tandem in Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. They've got weapons outside of between all their backup wide receivers, the backup tight ends. Matthew Stafford is the league MVP. Like if Matthew Stafford doesn't win the league MVP, something is very wrong. Because out of all the people who you could say deserve MVP, the league for some reason is pushing Josh Allen. I don't get that. Listen, you're not going to find a bigger Josh Allen glazer than this guy right here. I've been glazing Josh Allen. I'm talking about Krispy Kreme glaze. I've been glazing Josh Allen since bro stepped into the league. He does not deserve MVP this year. Maybe Patrick Mahomes, but the Chiefs got to step it up. They're third in division. Jonathan Taylor could have won MVP, but the Colts decided they wanted to put... The Colts thought that Daniel Jones was somebody he was not. And they decided to go away from the people and the things that got them into this position. And they were like, you know what? Let's drop back 50 times with Daniel Jones. That's not a good idea. No. If anything, run the ball 35 times with Jonathan Taylor. But by the time they kind of figured out that we should be running the football more this game, and Jonathan Taylor was starting to be effective, it was already too late. And they were like, you know what? We're down so much, we kind of have to pass the ball now. And they were starting to come back, honestly. They're a good football team. I'm not saying, look, I was the biggest fan of Daniel Jones coming into this season than anybody else. I don't think there was another person on the internet that was saying the things I was saying about Daniel Jones. Truthfully, genuinely. Like, the second he got signed, I went on record, on video, on camera, and said Daniel Jones is going to win the starting spot off of Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson will likely never play a snap this year, barring a Daniel Jones injury, and it's going to happen in the preseason / training camp. Daniel Jones is going to win the battle very convincingly, and he's gonna have the best season of his career, and he is doing it. Nobody was saying these things about Daniel Jones until he won the battle, and they were like, oh yeah, maybe Daniel Jones is probably gonna be a solid quarterback, but they didn't think he was gonna be doing this. That being said, back to the Rams. Their defense is one of the best in the league. Their D-line is phenomenal. And I think that out of all the teams that can do it, the Rams are going to be able to do it. Because the Seahawks, I need to see if Sam Darnold is able to perform in the playoffs. The Buccaneers are way too hurt right now. The 49ers defense is way too hurt right now. The Eagles, while they are disgustingly talented, are extremely dysfunctional. The Lions they could be the best team in the NFL, but for some reason they just choose to not be serious when when they need it the most. They are serious people, but they're the most unserious people of the serious people. The Packers aren't serious. The Vikings, JJ McCarthy is too young. So it's all this points to a Broncos-Rams Super Bowl. Those are my Super Bowl picks. Those are my Super Bowl picks. Broncos out of the AFC, Rams out of the NFC. Let's get into these Week 10 picks. Starting off, I know it's Tinfoil Tuesday, so you know we gotta have an upset of the week. Starting off with our Week 10 picks, Falcons versus the Colts. I got the Atlanta Falcons. Call me crazy. Yes, I know the Colts just came off a rough L for the Steelers, so they're going to be looking for revenge. But the Falcons just came off of an even rougher L from the Patriots, and one that they arguably should have at least went into overtime with. And I'm one of the people who think that the Falcons aren't as bad as their record shows. Their defense is really good. They've got playmakers all over their offense. I'm a big fan of Michael Penix. I still believe in him. I just think that he's essentially completing his rookie year at the end of this. So you can say what you want. The man hasn't played 17 games. So he's still learning as a quarterback. He's growing right before our eyes. But their assortment of weapons between Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and what's his name? Tyler Algier. Like they've got weapons all over, and their defense is really good. They're still very young, and they're still learning how to play with each other. Their offense coordinator really isn't doing them any favors. But with all that, I still think they can make some noise. Will they make the playoffs? That I'm not sure. They really put themselves in a really big hole, but their back is up against the wall, and they need to win this game if they have any chances of making the playoffs, which is why I have them at this upset of the week. The Colts can afford this loss. The Falcons cannot afford this loss, and they are two really good football teams. Contrary to the Falcons, I believe they're 3-5 right now. The records, if anything, they're really, really close. They're, in terms of talent, I think they're almost identical in terms of where I kind of rank them. In terms of talent, like talent for talent. And the record does not reflect that at all. Colts are 7-2. I believe the Falcons are 3-5. So this is if the Falcons don't upset the Colts, it's going to be a very close game. I believe this has the highest over/under out of all the games this week, and for good reason. This is going to be a crazy game. But next up, we have Texans versus Jaguars, and I'm taking the Texans. Like, CJ plays, CJ doesn't play, Davis Mills plays. I don't care. I got the Texans. After what I've been seeing the Texans defense do against better opponents than what they're going to be playing in the fraudulent Jaguars, I got Texans all day. I'm not a big fan of the Jaguars at all. I think that Liam Cohen has been doing a very good job hiding the deficiencies of this team, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is not a great quarterback. They just lost what has been their, in my opinion, what could have been their most productive wide receiver this year in Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr. has been facing injury after injury, and something is up with him. I'm not sure what it is, but something is up with him. Their running backs are good. Their defense is okay. But I genuinely think they will struggle mightily against this Texans defense. So no matter who the quarterback is of the Texans, I got Houston in this. 1,000%. I got Houston. I believe Houston is favored, but I'm not 100% sure. The Jaguars, I believe Houston is favored. It might change because CJ Stroud isn't ruled out. CJ Stroud gets ruled out, I think the Jaguars are going to be favored, but like I said, CJ Stroud, Davis Mills, don't care. Give me the Texans. Ravens versus the Vikings. After everything I just said, I'll be a fool to not double down on the Vikings. I know the Ravens need this win. But I think that the Vikings are going to stack up back-to-back impressive victories on the Ravens. And what I've seen from the Ravens defense does not give me hope that they're going to be able to stop the Vikings on offense. And the Vikings defense has enough to kind of limit what the Ravens do on offense. Now this is going to be a great game. I'm not going to sit here and say they're just going to outright just stop Lamar Jackson, but I truly think that the Vikings, similarly to the Falcons, kind of have their backs against the walls. This isn't a 100% must win for the Vikings, But with how tight the NFC is, it honestly might as well be a must-win for both of these teams. But I think that the Vikings, roster for roster and top to bottom, I think they're the better team. And I think they're the better team on the field. I think they're the better team on paper. And I think that the better team will win this Sunday in the Vikings. Give me the Vikings. Next up, we have the Rams versus the 49ers. This one was very hard because I wanted to take the 49ers really bad. I know I just talked all this mad stuff about the Rams. Brock Purdy is probably going to be back. Ricky Pearsall is likely to be back. Brandon Ayuk, sleeper, might be back. But even still, I got the Rams. Because, if anything, getting all those pieces back might do more harm than good, at least for this first week, because all of these guys really haven't had the time to play with each other this year, like how Mac Jones and the rest of these backup pieces have. So I think that the 49ers will more than likely put up a fight because they still got Christian McCaffrey. They're still a very good team. But if Brock Purdy plays and Ricky Pearsall, I think that they just haven't had enough reps with each other to be able to overcome the obstacle that the Rams are. So I got the Rams in this one. I got the Rams. Next up, we got two more. Steelers versus the Chargers. And I'm looking at this. I kind of want to change my pick, but we're sticking with it. I got the Chargers. I really kind of wanted to change my pick, but I don't think the Steelers' defense, their secondary specifically, is that great. And I think that all the things that the Steelers really do well, the Chargers have an answer for it. The Steelers, what they really do well on defense, they can get pressure on the quarterback. But the Vikings have so many options in the short passing game. I mean, not the Chargers have so many options in the quick passing game that I think that Justin Herbert will have answers to whatever the Steelers send at them. Whether it be Oronde Gadsden, whether it be Keenan Allen, whether it be forgetting his name. Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Wait a second. Lad McConkey. Good Lord. And then if they go over top, they have Sam Oronde Gadsden and they have Quentin Johnston. But I think it'll be a very close game just because the Steelers, they're a good football team, but they aren't world beaters. And what the Steelers do really well on offense, I think they will be able to put up points against the Chargers. But I think that the Chargers will be victorious in the end. I think they will be victorious in the end. I just think that the Chargers have too much on offense for the Steelers defense to handle. What it'll come down to is the turnover battle. And what I'm afraid of, what really made me want to change my pick is if Justin Herbert makes too many mistakes against the Steelers defense, that could in turn make that could get the Steelers a victory. Because that's what got the Steelers victory against the Colts, who are a better team than them. The Colts had 7 or 8 turnovers, 6 or more turnovers, and they only lost by 1 possession. You can tell who the better team was just by that statement right there. They had 6 turnovers, 6 or more turnovers, and they only lost by 1 possession. So I'm gonna keep my pick in the Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers won just because Justin Herbert, I'm not 100% sold on him on being a changed man from his olden days. I was hoping that Jim Harbaugh would kind of, turn him into a new man with a lot what we saw with him struggling in big moments. And we've kind of seen it kind of rear its ugly head a few times this year. But I have faith. I think that their offense is too talented. I just think that their offense is too talented to lose against a defense that they should be able to have success with. Last pick of the week, we got the Eagles versus the Packers. And I've been saying all video, Packers are not serious people. I've seen enough. I've seen enough out of the Packers. I've seen enough. I think they're a good football team, but I think they're like the Steelers of the NFC. I feel like they're the Steelers of the NFC. I think they're a good football team, but they're not serious people. Like they have deficiencies in places where they should not have deficiencies, where it just doesn't make sense. And I think the Eagles took a long look in the mirror during their bye week and are like, we're gonna get this right. We are too good of a football team to not kind of just lock in and be the dominant force that we know we can be. They made a lot of moves during the trade deadline, and I think the Eagles are going to look a lot more like the team that we've seen them be, the dominating force the past year, and not the year before that, the previous year, the year they went to the Super Bowl, and then this last year they went to the Super Bowl. I think we're gonna, in the second half of the season, I think we're gonna see that version of the Eagles coming up. And damn, I'm wanting to put the Eagles in my Super Bowl picks, but I'm sticking with the Rams. I really want to take the Eagles though. I'm kind of talking myself into them because I truly think that the Eagles' second half run is gonna make a lot of people say, "Oh, this is the best. This is the best team that we've been seeing in the NFL." And I think that because there really hasn't been one team that's kind of like solidified them as the best team in the league, and I think the Eagles might be doing that in the second half of the league. But that was my last tinfoil take of Tinfoil Tuesdays. I'm gonna leave it off, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you made it this far. Comment in the comment section if you have any takes on the picks that I had, and leave me your favorite picks. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Class dismissed.